about to fucking flex.
Do you hear me now? All right, let's see. I think you guys can hear me now. All right. So yeah, you guys can hear me now. It says it's working here. So what's up, guys? My name is Ray, as usual, and today's the day that I'm finally back. I know that it's been a little bit iffy with me and my uploading schedule, so I wanted to keep you guys caught up on what's happening and all this crazy stuff, because I know that I haven't been here much around, and it's not because I want to, it's just because so much shit has popped up. But I want to give a shout out to everybody in the chat who's joining us live. I was like, you know what, today would be a dope day to do a live stream because I'm off. Only bad thing is that, as usual, right next to me there's like some construction on some playground thing, so you guys might hear some of that, you know, during the stream. But like I said, thanks for joining me. I'm super excited. I'm a little bit taller than I thought it was going to be because my other chair is all jacked up as well. Man, I'm telling you, I got so much stuff to do upgrading wise. But thanks to everybody who's joining me. I'm super excited. I wanted to give you guys an update, show you guys some stuff that I'm working on, talk about some of the stuff that I've been watching and stuff, and, you know, just kind of get back into the rhythm of talking with you guys. Because believe it or not, I've been a little bit anxious about coming on live. I know that sounds weird, right? Because you might think like, yo, you do it every weekend. How would you? I don't know. It's like since it was such a long time that I hadn't like live streamed, I was like oh my god, I was getting like in my head. I was like, what am I gonna talk about? There's no new stuff to talk about, even though there's a ton of stuff to talk about. I just want like something dope to talk about, because you know how I am. I always like to put like my best foot forward, I guess, and have like the best graphics, best material. I like to make it as entertaining as possible, and since I haven't been able to do that, I just feel really crummy about it. So I guess I'm kind of judging myself. But like I said, I'm super happy that you guys are here, and I'm super excited. Yo, I don't know, there's so much to talk about Game of Thrones wise, but I think I might leave that for more videos and more content. I have like legit 2 or 3 pages of like video ideas and topics that I want to talk about and that I could talk about, but I just want to leave some of that stuff for like when I have somebody else to talk about. Maybe I've been thinking about a podcast recently. I want to do the whole Fight the Night thing still, so that still is coming, but it'll probably be a little bit more longer. One thing that happened to me in my personal life, and this isn't like a pity thing, so you know, but you know, recently my grandfather passed away. That's another reason why, you know, I haven't been able to you know, upload and do as much online, because you know, the feeling in my family hasn't really been as upbeat, and I have recorded videos since then, but I don't know, every time I feel that I record a video, I feel like it's like a little bit like, you know, like kind of kills the mood, you know what I mean? Because I'm not high energy, but since a couple of weeks have passed already, you know, I'm all up in rhythm again, and I feel a little bit more excited to you know, talk Game of Thrones, and you know, I actually feel hype. I actually feel like excited to be back. So let's dig right into this. So I was gonna talk about Ghost, right? But I have some graphics and some stuff. I was thinking about probably putting it into a video, and I have like more ideas, because I know that recently they said that Ghost was gonna be like in season 8 more. So I wanted to talk about that. I wanted to talk about the excerpt of Fire and Blood. I have a ton of stuff that I want to talk about, man, like Game of Thrones related. I really do. But I just said, you know what, let me show you guys some previews, some stuff that I'm working on, talk about some of the stuff I've seen, just to get back into the rhythm. I know I'm repeating myself, so let me dig right into this. So I did a video recently with my mother and my brother, and it's basically, we bought the beer for Game of Thrones, or I bought it, and it was the Cersei brand of the beer. It was like a sour ale, I think it's called. Yo, that beer was delicious. And me and my brother and my mother, we kind of reviewed it. So, you know, it was a pretty dope beer. I have like a whole thing designed and already done. I've been editing it, and you know, I'm trying to do it as much as I can while working. So it is a little bit more of a, you know, weird, stressful thing there going on, but some of the parts actually got corrupted. Some of the ones like with my mom, so probably my mom won't be in it as much, but I'm trying to fix that and get that fixed. But I'm editing it. It was super fun doing it. It was interesting because, like I said, I hadn't ever recorded anything with my mother, and then you would see me like record something like beer and stuff. So that was interesting. Funny enough, I'm not sure if you guys saw, I probably should have put an image of this up. Game of Thrones also released a Johnny Walker White Walker label, which is hilarious, you know, the pun and everything. It's a Johnny Walker White Walker label, and I'm gonna get my hands on like at least 2 of those. I want at least 2 of those Johnny Walkers. I think they're a little bit more expensive, but there's like so much Game of Thrones stuff in these weeks because they also released the line of Daenerys Targaryen of the beers that I tasted, so I probably might try to get my hands on one of those. Also, New York Comic Con was this past week, so they released so much merch and toys and pop figures and all this crazy stuff that I want to get my hands on. But I'm kind of leaning more towards the Johnny Walker because I do like Johnny Walker more, and you know, it's something a little bit more, you know, rare to me. Like, oh shit, like Johnny Walker's like this big brand. It was pretty cool that they did a collab with it. So I probably might try to order 1 or 2 of those if I can. Big E says, I will hunt that whiskey down until the day I die. I think that you have to order it. Yo, I'm gonna turn on my fan, even if it's a little bit of a humming in the background, because yo, it is hot. I closed the window because of the construction downstairs, and it is extremely hot in this apartment. No, but I think you have to order it online. I'm not sure, but if you find it in a store, Big E, let me know, because that looks dope. I'm sorry, it looks extremely cool, and I think they're gonna release like a whole collection of different beverages, or not beverages, of liquors next month. I think it's November. I think they said they're gonna release like 8, not just Johnny Walker, but like other brands under that same company. So it should be pretty dope. Thanks, Alicia. Rest in peace, Abuelo. No, thanks. No, yeah, you know, it was something. It was weird because my grandfather was so upbeat. You know what I mean? So like when people are so kind of upbeat and kind of happy and stuff, you don't want to like mope around and like, you know, leave that energy when they were so positive. You know what I mean? So that's part of me. That's why I'm kind of pushing myself, that I want to do like videos and I want to like go out more, and you know, because I mean, life goes on, sadly. You know what I mean? But thanks again. Smokahontas says, due to the liquor laws, they don't sell Game of Thrones alcohol in my state. Wait, what the hell? Why? That is so random. If you know why, can you tell me, Smokahontas? I'm very curious. Why won't they? Like, it's such a cool thing. I mean, I've already drinking the one that I just showed you. This one, the Cersei Queen of the Seven Kingdoms blonde sour ale. But yo, that, oh man, I'm not even gonna spoil it. It's really good. If you guys find that one particularly, buy it. I'm thinking about going to buy another bottle of that one. I know I sound like an alcoholic right now, but when you find these Game of Thrones beers and beverages, even if you don't like it, you should probably buy it, because you're never gonna get your chance to get your hands on them again, because they only do it in such a limited amount. That's the only one that I've drinking. I want to get the other ones, but I know that they're not gonna make them anymore. So these that they're releasing right now, they released one for Tyrion, Cersei, Daenerys, and Jon Snow. They released 4 of like these like premium special ones or whatever. And the only way to get your hands on them is if you find them in store or online. But of course, because those are the only 2 ways to get them. But you know, it's like it's only certain stores carry them. But where I bought them, I think there were only like 2 left. I probably might go see if they have the Daenerys one next. John Haymaker says, sounds like Utah. I mean, it was interesting because I did not expect that beer to taste so good. I was like, yo, like this beer is good, probably gonna be meh, but yo, it was so freaking good. Like, it was really, really good. Spoiler alert for my video. It was really good. You know, I really want the Johnny Walker, because it's something that I have in my house already. I want to compare it to the other ones. I want to buy one to drink one, and I just want to buy one just to have it there. Like, you know what I mean? Just to have it in the house and like show it off. Like, oh yeah, I have a bottle of that, and you're never gonna drink it, because that's probably never gonna be made again. You know what I mean? It's something like that. I'm a little bit of a weirdo when it comes to that. I like rare liquor for some reason, and then not drinking it. It's extremely stupid, I know. I know, Alicia. I want to get that Johnny Walker too. I'm gonna get my hands on him. I know that for a fact. But I probably order them this week. I think a couple countries are still dry in my state, so they can't ship it to Kentucky. I don't know how that works. So if anybody could explain that to me, I would appreciate it. What is it, like a dry state thing? Like they don't allow certain levels of liquor? That's so weird to me. I don't know. Nah, but that's one thing that I'm working on. I'm also working on this little like music video thing. Gloria says, Ray and Johnny for lunch. I'm down. Hell yeah. Hell yeah. No, what you call it? It's funny. I think that was probably one of like the first drinks I've ever had. Like I remember my dad was drinking Johnny Walker. And this was like in Dominican Republic, so you know, laws are different over there. But I was like, what, like 15, and my dad was like, here, let's have a drink. And my dad, I'm like, I don't know. My dad was like, take a shot. It was like a weird way of him making me get so buzzed that I wouldn't want to drink again, and it actually kind of worked for a couple of years. But I remember he was like, yo, here, and he poured it. He was like, yo, take this shot, and I just like chugged it. That was like my first ever straight up liquor like that, and yo, it did the job. It really made me not want to drink for a minute. I remember just my eye was like, ah, God, it was really bad. But ever since then, I just really like that one and Chivas, or I don't know how you pronounce it in English, but like I was saying, I have been working on this like music video type thing with Game of Thrones, and it's interesting because I've been watching a lot of shows, right? One of the shows that I've been watching is The Leftovers. Now, if any of you guys don't know what The Leftovers is, wait,
come with me.
No, wait, where is it? All right, there we go. The Leftovers is this show right here. It was on HBO for 3 seasons, and I'm not even gonna lie to you guys. I loved The Leftovers so freaking much. It is probably one of my favorite top 15 shows ever. I'm still not sure if it's top 10, but it is such a good TV show. It is like really, 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 really good. And I don't know, man. Like, it's such a good show because it makes you think about things. I wanted to even do a video on it. That's how good it is. What you call it? It makes you think and question the way that people think and the way that you look at life. And then it was interesting because I saw this, like, you know, like probably like a month or so ago. I saw the complete. I finished it off. It was such a good show. I kept going back looking for YouTube videos to talk about this, and I'm like, why doesn't barely anybody talk about this show? And it was that it really didn't get that much hype behind it, obviously, because it didn't last very long. But yo, it was such a good show. Did any of you guys see The Leftovers ever? Because if you guys did, I probably may do like a live stream or a video about it, just talking about it, like bulletin points, because it was such a good show. But with one of the best things to me that The Leftovers has is the score. The score on The Leftovers is amazing. And there's like 2 songs in particular, but the one that I'm working with in this video that I'm making is like a Game of Thrones song. And I've been working on it. It's like a, you know, Game of Thrones video with like music behind it. I'm not monetizing this video because I might get like copyrighted, but I wanted to show you guys a preview of another thing that I'm working on. And it's probably a little bit more of a preview because it's probably more than probably like half of the actual video. But I'm gonna put this on and then we'll talk about it and, you know, discuss and whatnot. I like to call this Game of Thrones Leftovers. For like I said, for those who have seen The Leftovers, you know what I'm talking about.
Be gone now, Arya.
Come with me. Run.
The first sword of Bravos does not run.
What do we say to the god of death?
Not today.
You said goodbye to Bran. He's not going to die. I know it. You Starks are hard to kill.
Do you think Joffrey will like me? What if he thinks I'm ugly?
Then he is the stupidest prince that ever lived.
He's so handsome. When married soon, or do we have to wait?
Hush now. Your father hasn't even said yes.
Why would he say no? He'd be the second most powerful man in the kingdoms.
He'd have to leave home. He'd have to leave me.
Alright, so that's just a little bit of a video that I'm working on. I don't know, it's weird. I really like testing myself when it comes to like editing and like graphics and just learning new shit about, like, you know what I mean, creating content and stuff. Like yesterday I was looking into like how to change like the eye colors of like a person like in a photo or whatever, so that I could probably like change like Daenerys's and John's eye colors like in some stuff that I have coming up. So in like changing my own wolves into ghosts, like, you know what I mean, because getting pictures they're dope of ghosts, it's kind of difficult. So if I learn how to change the eye colors, I could get like a white wolf in a dope position and just change his eyes colors. That's what I was thinking about doing, and that's what I just love editing and learning new ish. But I hope you guys enjoy that little clip right there. The Leftovers is one of those shows that it's like it makes you question everything. Like it legit makes you question everything. It's like it's really, really dope. If you like, I know that I think it was the people from Lost, one of like the creators of Lost was behind The Leftovers. So if you were a fan of Lost, you might enjoy this. And I heard that the ending to Lost wasn't very good. I had never seen it personally, but the ending to The Leftovers was pretty dope. I enjoyed it, and it leaves a lot to be questioned. I like this one comment that Alicia Kingston wrote, and she wrote, "You know, you gotta wonder what would have been different if Syrio had left with Arya." I mean, I question that all the time too, because it's interesting too that, you know, you have the water dancers, you have the faceless men, and they kind of seem a little bit to be like on opposite ends. And she starts with one, and then she ends up with the other. So it would have been interesting, truly, like to see how that would have been. It would have been like a PG version of the Hound and Arya, maybe. You know what I mean? It probably would have been like a little bit more Disney friendly or something, to say the least. But I don't know. I mean, I also like the fact that someone said, "Why didn't he pick up one of the swords off the floor?" Because he wanted to go out with a wooden sword, I guess. Nah, but let me see. Nah, but like I was saying, I've also watched a lot of other stuff. I've been watching. I saw The Handmaid's Tale. For anyone that has seen The Handmaid's Tale, knows that shit is fucked up. That show is just like all over the place. I personally think it's a great show, The Handmaid's Tale, but you know it's a great show just because of the fact too that of how many awards it's won, right? Like The Handmaid's Tale is one of those shows that it's like very dark, very dramatic. It's even scary to me, in my opinion. Like it keeps you like on the edge of your seat. It's even like when you look at like current times, you see some shit in there that it's like, I don't know, this is kind of sketchy and whatnot. But The Handmaid's Tale is really dope. If you guys haven't seen these shows, The Leftover, Handmaid's Tale, you should definitely watch that. Also, I've watched Vikings. Vikings is one of those shows that for years people have been telling me you should watch Vikings. You should watch Vikings, and I was a bit on the fence about it. And I'm gonna tell you why I was a bit on the fence, because I thought that people were telling me that I should watch Vikings as like a Game of Thrones substitute, right? And truth be told, I was kind of hesitant because I was thinking that people wanted to get me into Vikings because it was like, but you know what? It actually holds up. It's a good show. I really enjoyed it. It gets to a point that, you know, now I'm a little bit curious to see where they're going to go with the whole show, because supposedly these characters are based on real life characters. So that's an interesting spin, right? But I think it's pretty dope that we have so many like battles and stuff. In the beginning of the show, just like any other show, you know, you can see that the budget is a lot less. Money is like when they go to war, you see it's only like 20 people. But what is wrong with my dog? No. My dog's acting up. But when you start at the beginning, the budget is very small. You can tell it's only like 20 people versus 20 people. and they don't have like money for CGI and more like, you know, interesting stuff. But as time goes on, like maybe about like season 2 or 3, you start to see like the groups growing a little bit more. The battle starts growing a little bit more. The scale of things grows to be a lot better and a lot bigger. And it's actually a pretty dope show. I really enjoyed it. The only thing is that I would say is I went in and I tried not to do this, but I did it anyways, was comparing this show to Game of Thrones. Now, I love Game of Thrones, and I really like Vikings. Do I think that Vikings is Game of Thrones? Hell no. Nothing in this world will ever be Game of Thrones. Like, you know what I mean? Like, I don't even... Truth be told, I think that even the prequel that is coming will not live up to Game of Thrones. As much as it might be good, it's just not possible. You know what I mean? Because Game of Thrones is the standard, and I just approach it that way. But it's a really, really good show. I really, really enjoyed it. Ragnar is like a dope-ass character. Later on, Ivar is dope. There's a lot of upside. It's really good. If you guys are looking for something to see during the long night and you haven't seen Vikings, The Handmaid's Tale, The Leftovers, you should definitely watch them because they're really great. All right, let me see. Let me look at the chat. Bubba Husky says, Mike Pence president during The Handmaid's Tale. I don't know, man. I really don't want to go into politics, but I'm telling you, man, everybody should at least give that show a chance. The Man in the High Castle season 3 came out Friday. I haven't seen that show, but there's something about like the whole Nazi thing I've never been like a fan of. It just really bums me out ever since I was young. So, like, I don't know. I probably might watch it because my friend keeps trying to get me to watch it. He's been trying to get me to watch it since season 1. Let's see. John Haymaker says, you should watch Norseman on Netflix. It's a spoof of Vikings. I mean, that would be interesting. I would watch it. I didn't even know it existed. Now I'll actually look for it. Norseman. Let me write that down. I always want to like look for like something new and something interesting. I would definitely give that a chance. All right. The Last Kingdom is a great show. Oh, yes, Smoker Hunters. I love the last. Are they making a next season? Because I feel like it's taking forever. Like, I feel like the last time I saw an episode of The Last Kingdom was probably like a year or 2 ago. So that show is great. I just really like it. It's an interesting spin on everything. I don't know. It's interesting too because a lot of these shows seem to have like the same actors, right? I've seen Rain that was on CW. That one was interesting. Kind of bummed me out because I should have seen the ending coming a mile away. I should have just looked up if Mary Queen of Scots dies or not, but that kind of bummed me out. Let's see. Eric Youngblood says, Q&A, why didn't Benjen turn into a White Walker when the children put dragonglass in his heart? What do you think the Whites killed him? I mean, truth be told, like, it just depends on what line of thinking you go about it, right? Because, for example, I, in my thought, believe that the Starks do have something special about them. They have the blood of the first men. You know that they could warg. That ability of warging tends to come from, like, you know, north of the wall, the children of the forest and stuff. So I do think that it might have a different effect, maybe because their bloodline is, like, very specific. It has something to do with that more than, like, you know what I mean? Like, they could just do that to anybody. I don't think that they could just stab anybody and turn them into a White Walker. That's why I think that, for example, the Night's King is a Stark. I honestly believe that. I'm pretty sold on that. And that's why I think that they're going to do the whole prequel thing, because you need that main character to be like, you know, someone of a big house, someone that we are familiar with. And I feel that the story of how a Stark turned into the future enemy of everybody, like the Night King, I think that's where they're going with it all. But that's just me. But my phone keeps, what you call it, some Giants news. Let's see. Shout out to Cindy Sammy, who's joining us. Peter Griffin, shout out to you too. Let's see. Peter Griffin says, what's The Man on the High Castle on? Flicks? No, I think it's on, I don't think it's on Netflix. I think it's on Amazon. Yeah, because that's where I keep seeing it. I think it's on Amazon Prime. It's like one of like their more popular shows, I think. But I haven't seen it. But it's an interesting to me, it seems interesting because I know that it's like about like if the Germans, I think it is, or the Nazis had won, and what had happened here, like in the U.S., right? But it's interesting because I know that D&D have the creators of Game of Thrones have a show on the Confederacy winning as well. So if anything, I probably might watch it just to compare those two. But I don't know. It's very interesting to have like these spins. All right, let's see. Long live Ivar the Boneless. Yo, that's a dope character. He's crazy, kind of like Ramsey a little bit. But he's a dope character. Team Largatha. I mean, I don't know. I like them all. I'm like, why can't they just get along? You know what I mean? It's funny when you look back at I went and looked back at like some history videos on these characters, and they are nothing like in the show. But I don't know whose team I am. I'm Team Ragnar. Everybody get along. Linda Guerrero says, I didn't watch Vikings when it first came out because I thought they were trying to capitalize on Game of Thrones popularity, but it's a really good show. Yeah, I agree with that sentiment, right? I don't know. It's funny, right? Because when we have fandoms, we tend to like grab onto our fandom and we tend to like isolate ourselves from other fandoms and like, oh no, ours is like the shit and yours isn't. So I feel that I kind of did that as well. I was like, I don't know, I just think it's a knockoff Game of Thrones. And what I ended up doing was like pushing it back. But due to the extra long night, I'm like, you know what? I need something to watch, especially like during the summer. There's like mad stuff because mostly people are out on the street, but there's usually nothing really to watch on summer, like during the summer. So I ended up watching it, and to be honest, it's really good. It's really interesting. It has a lot of nice, endearing characters. Even though they're doing horrendous and awful shit, you're like, yo, I like this character. I fuck with this character. I really like it. So I really enjoy that aspect of it all. That, you know, even though they're even doing horrible things like pillaging, raping, and like murdering and all this stuff, they kind of make you. They allow you to get endeared with these characters, and like Floki. Floki is like one of the craziest characters on that show. Like, he's so into his religion and into his gods that he just looks out of it. And it's crazy that the actor who plays Floki is the guy who plays, I forgot his name on Westworld. So different. I know his name is something Skarsgård. He's one of the Skarsgård brothers, but like he's really dope in it. I really like Floki. I like Ragnar. It's a really dope show. If you haven't watched it, I can't recommend it enough. Let's see. Season 2, American Vandals on Netflix. I have not seen season 1 completely yet. I think I saw like the first 2 episodes. That's the one like when they're like put all the penises and they're trying to find out who vandalized all the teachers' cars, right? That's what I think it is. I saw like 2 episodes of it and then I forgot and I never went back. Let's see. Linda Guerrero says Vikings actually got better without Ragnar. That's an interesting look, right, or spin of it, because you could argue that it did get better because you have characters who are actually like more into the story. Like, you have more important characters in the story, like Ragnar's children and his wife, and you have like his ex-wife, and you know, there's like more dynamics between it, right? I feel that the dynamic between Largatha and all of Ragnar's kids that are from this woman, I forget their names because I only remember like 5. Uhtred, Largatha, Ragnar, Floki, Rollo. Very limited with the names. But back to the point I was saying, the dynamic between like the mom of one child and the mother of 4 kids, and then you have some of them choosing the other mother because their mother was a horrible mother to them, and then you have Ivar who's like crazy, looked down upon, and it's like it's a really there's a lot of dope dynamics in that show. Like, but I feel that I don't know. I got so used to Ragnar that I don't know. I kind of miss him in the show, but I could definitely see why you're saying it, because without him being there, it allows infighting between them and it allows a better story. But it should be interesting next season. For anybody who saw it, I don't want to spoil anything. The next half of the season should be really dope. I saw the trailer. I was really excited. It looks on some high end level, like, you know what I mean. It looks like some high level fight scenes and sequences are gonna be in it, or war sequences. John Haymaker says turd burglar. I don't know. I'm guessing that's what the second season is about. All right, Bubba Husky. Shout out to Bubba Husky, who's bouncing right now. He's out, he said. Let's see. Gustav Skarsgård. There we go. I know he's one of the Skarsgård brothers. And that family has actually quite a bit of talent when you look at it. You have the one that was in Big Little Lies. I think his name is Alexander Skarsgård. You have the one that plays Pennywise in It. And you have this one. Pretty talented family. The Prince that was promised says the new Doctor Who just started too. I don't know. Doctor Who is one of those things that, like, a bunch of my boys from like work and people who they always talk to me about Doctor Who, but since I've never seen Doctor Who, to me it's so hard to get into because I feel like I will always be missing something. You know what I mean? And I just don't like going and watching stuff that is like really, really old unless it's like really, really good. And since so many seasons, it's been out for so many years, I feel like I'm always going to be behind. So that's kind of like discouraging for me to get into it. I probably might look into it one of these days. Oh snap, that's how you know I've been gone for a minute. I believe BBM has changed his name to Fandom the Saint. Is that you, BBM? Let me know, because if that is, that shows you how long I've been away. Yeah, I needed some water, man. Oh snap, that is BBM, or like Fandom the Saint, or Fandom. I'm gonna call you Fandom, or BBM. I don't know. What do you want me to call you? Because, you know. Nah, but it was interesting. I've been thinking about this. I'm like, should I do streams like during lunch hour? You know what I mean? Like during lunchtime? Because I have seen, like, for example, I've seen John Campia. He does like videos. I follow John Campia since like AMC. I've always liked his channels, like wherever he's at. And he has an interesting thing. He does like around this time, and it works for him. I could probably do videos like around this time. It's interesting because I used to do it on Saturday, but Saturday is one of those things that it's always something comes up, and like people feel a certain way when I don't go or I don't hang out, and it's like it's such a weird thing. But I also like hanging with you guys, so I probably might spread it out to like 2 different days, probably like Monday and Saturdays, depending on like which one I could do, or maybe even a Sunday. I don't know. I just gotta see when do other people do their streams. So that's one of the things too that I've been like trying to look at. Shout out to Mike, who's joining us from the UK. What time is it in the UK? That's interesting. What time is it? The UK, I think, is like 12 hours or something, or a few, like 8 hours ahead from here, right? $21.34. So that would be, let's see, that would be roughly $9.34, I guess. Yeah. Gloria says, "Oh no, spoilers! I must go. Love ya." I don't know which spoilers, but we're not talking Game of Thrones spoilers, just in case. Sherry M says, yeah, 9:15. That's crazy. I mean, man, I gotta go across the pond someday, man. I don't know. I probably might have to go like with a horse tranquilizer in me or something, but I gotta go, man. There's so many things that I would love to check out across, man, but no, I'm not talking Game of Thrones spoilers. I have avoided Game of Thrones spoilers, like hard. If that's what you guys are talking about, I'm not talking spoilers. I have avoided it so hard. It's so dope. I'm so proud. Yo, let me know in the chat right now. Let me see which. All right. If you've seen spoilers, or if you know a lot of spoilers, put in a, let's see, what emoji? Let's see, what emoji should we put? Let's do a little poll here. I don't know if I could do that. Yeah, and if you guys don't follow me, you guys should follow me on Instagram and on my Facebook page and on Twitter if you guys want. I'm gonna start posting more stuff. Let me see. I just gotta see, because I'm curious to see which one of you guys have seen spoilers, which one of you guys haven't. Let me know in the chat. I'm very curious to see, because I haven't, and I don't want to do like spoiler content because I feel that I would be spoiling myself for the last and final season, and I kind of want to see it. All right, so let's see. Alicia Kingston says the little devil emoji. Let's use the little devil emoji for you naughty spoilery people. Let's use that. Let's use the devil emoji, the horn one. If you know spoilers for season 8, don't tell me what the spoilers are, but let me know by using the little devil emoji. I'm curious to see what you guys think, because or what you guys know, because I. All right, do you hear me now? I don't know, man. It's funny. I have a brand new spanking mic, like brand new. out of the box, like and best brand possible. And I just didn't want to whip it out. That sounded so weird, so I'll take that back. I didn't want to start using it because I wanted to have it like a whole new setup when I start using this brand new mic. It's a Blue Yeti. This is like my good old faithful, but if I'm to be honest with you, it's like a pair of old jeans, right? You know, like that pair of old jeans that you just love so much and you just enjoy using it. I guess it's the end of the road for this mic, but I'm not even joking. I swear. Look at, like I can't even make this shit up.
Be gone now, Arya.
Come with me. Run.
The first sword of Bravos does not run.
What do we say to the god of death?
Not today.
You said goodbye to Bran. He's not going to die. I know it. Two Starks are hard to kill.
Do you think Joffrey will like me? What if he thinks I'm ugly?
Then he is the stupidest prince that ever lived.
He's so handsome. When would we be married? Soon, or do we have to wait?
Hush now. Your father hasn't even said yes.
Why would he say no? He'd be the second most powerful man in the kingdoms.
He'd have to leave home. He'd have to leave me.
All right, so I'm back with audio. So this is still my messed up mic. I still haven't learned how to use this new mic, just in case. I know that it's like I said, this is more of like an update stream I wanted to do because I'm almost heading out. But shit, I probably should have used one of these. I actually have a brand new mic. My MacGyver mic, as it was called in the chat, is one that I just wanted to keep using, but I guess that I will have to use the new one from now on when I stream. Also, I will be having more videos out, like I said. I have been working on a lot of stuff. I just haven't been putting it out there. I want to thank everybody who, you know, again, for all the support. I will be having more stuff out. If you guys want to talk about anything more, I guess, before I head out, we can still talk about some more stuff. This definitely helped me, thanks to you guys, you know, because, like I said, I was feeling a little bit anxious going live again. It's been such a minute since I've gone live that, you know, I don't know. I felt a little bit on edge about it, but, drop the Yeti mic. Oh, hell no. Oh, hell no. That mic, it's funny. I've had it for a while, this Yeti mic too. Like, but why is it? Ah, it's because of the green color of the keyboard. That's why. I'm like, why? Yeah, what you call it? I have the chroma key effect on, but Peter Griffin says, did I watch The Walking Dead? No, I do not watch The Walking Dead. It's just one of those things that I've never been able to get into. Just because, to me, it's like, I don't know. It's sometimes, you know, like when, and it was funny because I was like that with Game of Thrones. Sometimes something is so overhyped that you just want to like resist it. And you're like, no, I don't want to watch it just because. And my hating ass won't allow me to watch it. So, I don't know. And then like I hear people now complaining about it, that it's dragged and that it's not so good. But then again, people say the same thing about Game of Thrones. I mean, look at season 7 of Game of Thrones. A bunch of us in the fandom were so against Game of Thrones, right? Last season. We were all like, oh, it could have been better. It was all right. But when it goes to the Emmys, it cleans house because it's just such a great show. Like, it really is. So to me, that's interesting and that's pretty dope. But let me see. Is there something else that I wanted to talk about? Let me see. When would I have the next video? I should have a video out by next weekend because I have a full-fledged work of week. So work week. I don't know, man. You see, I gotta retrain my mouth. I gotta learn how to talk. I feel like I'm talking like a 2-year-old or something. But John Haymaker says, watch the show but quit after season 5. That must be that season 5 has some crazy climax. Should have ended there. And like, to me, there's nothing worse than having a show, right, and then watching the show and it could have ended at a perfect spot, and then they're like, you know what, oh, we were renewed, let's just start this show over again, and then it just sucks, the ending. You know what show was like that? Chuck. If you guys have ever seen Chuck was one of those shows that bummed the hell out of me. I was like, yo, I hate this show just because of the way that it ended. It should have ended one season before, and then they renewed it, and then they did this whole big garbage thing, and it was just really bad. Yes, I did see season 2 of Iron Fist. Season 2 of Iron Fist was really good. I really enjoyed it. I don't care what nobody says. It wasn't that bad. It was really good. I know I met this dude the other day, and he was like one of the loudest people I've probably ever heard. And if I'm saying you're loud, you are damn loud. Like, shit. And we were just like randomly talking in like a deli. That's how it is in New York. In New York, you bump into someone, you don't know them, and they start talking to you about like some shit really loud, and you're like, why are you so loud? But this dude, he's like a behemoth of a person. He's like this really big dude, and he's like looking down on me. He was like, Iron Fist season 2 was trash. Da 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 da. And I'm like, yo, you can't say it was trash. It was a good season. I feel that they developed more than just Danny as a character. I enjoyed it overall. I think it was a good season. It wasn't Daredevil quality, but it was probably top 5, you know, best Marvel shows, Marvel Netflix shows that they have. So I don't know. I think that when you look at the top 5, I would probably put Daredevil season 1, Daredevil season 2, Jessica Jones season 1, Punisher, and then I would probably put Iron Fist season 2. And the way that it ended, ooh, if you haven't seen that, you should definitely watch that. John Haymaker says Netflix Maniac on Netflix is great. I want to see Maniac, but I just don't know what it's about. If I were to find out what it's about, I would probably. I know it's like these people that go through this program, but I'll probably peep it. Probably even after this. Probably right after this. John Haymaker says Jessica Jones season 2 was boring. Yeah, I mean the whole thing with her mom, it was interesting. It wasn't like, yeah, you know, something that should drag a whole season, especially for how it went ending, like how it ended. You know what I mean? I feel the same way about True Blood and Dexter. It should have ended way earlier. Yeah, I mean some shows should just end in grace. You know what I mean? Funny enough, BBM, the guy that I was talking to in the deli was talking to me about The Gifted. I do watch The Gifted. I like The Gifted. The Gifted is a dope show. It'll be interesting to see what they do with the twins, with the Von Struckers, as they call them. But I'm interested. To me, I found it a little bit funny because it gave me a kind of like a Heroes vibe. You remember the show Heroes? That kind of gave me that vibe. You know, they're hinting at this big event that's gonna happen. It's like everybody, oh, we gotta go to New York City because this is where it's gonna blow up or whatever. I feel that's kind of like what The Gifted is trying to do there, but it's really dope. I did see Cloak and Dagger. Cloak and Dagger was all right, a bit underwhelming for me in scale. They tried to make it this huge scale thing, but I feel like the villains. The cop was a good villain for Cloak. I mean, the company wasn't a very big threat. It didn't feel like some major companies behind what's happening. Like, I don't know, it felt a little bit iffy to me. But I definitely I for the most part watch all these type of shows. To me, my favorite like comic book show recently is probably Krypton. Krypton was really good. Krypton was great. Alicia Kington says Heroes should have ended after season 3. Yeah, and Children's Be. I mean, Heroes is one of those shows that it was like pioneered. Man, that show was freaking awesome, man. That was pretty. And like when you have like the quality, like to me the thing is too is like when you have like quality actors on your show. Like for example, in Heroes you had Milo Ventimiglia. You had this chick is Claire. You had Zachary Quinto. You had like all these great actors in the show, and it was great while it lasted. But then it just got out of hand. You know what I mean? John Haymaker says, "What's Krypton on?" It's on Sci-Fi. It is a great show. I know the premise of it is like a Superman show without Superman. Yo, it is a great show. I loved that show. Siler was a great victim, Alicia. Yo, Peter Griffin, if you like Superman, watch that show because it's interesting. It's like you think you're gonna get this one thing, right? And I thought it was gonna be corny. As soon as I went and I saw it, I was like, oh, this is gonna be whack. But then when you go and you see it, it is extremely, extremely dope. It is like it's its own thing, and the set pieces that they use on Krypton, like to make this city, Kandor and all that, like. It is really, really, really dope. And there's like interesting spins in it. Like, I don't want to give away too much, but there's like really, really, really dope shit coming to that show as well. Like, I just saw some stuff. That's probably my favorite DC show out of all of them. I even like it more than Flash, truth be told. And I love Legion. I love The Flash. I like The Gifted a lot. But to me, Krypton was like one of those like, wow, I was really surprised. One of the shows that I keep seeing pop up, everybody talking about always is The Expanse. I think that they moved it now to Amazon. I think Amazon picked up the rights to it or whatever. So I think they're going to be making it now there instead of Sci-Fi. But I'm always like, yeah, I'm going to watch it. I'm going to watch it. I'm going to watch it. I probably might not watch it for a couple of months, but I'm definitely going to hop on that. Yeah, Cherie, I really enjoyed it. I really enjoyed it. It was interesting. If you like Superman and you like that whole like lore of Krypton and stuff, you would enjoy it. I'm telling you, it's not like I thought it was gonna be like some corny. Like, I'm sorry, Supergirl is extremely corny. I watch some of the episodes sometimes. Like if it's on, I watch it. But Supergirl to me is extremely corny. It is just one of those shows that it's like, oh my god, like. You see like these weird like poses, like I don't know, it's weird. I don't even like the Superman in their shows. That was, it's just bad. But Krypton is like its own thing. It's like really dope writing, story, the spins. Like I'm trying to tell you guys, I'm trying to recommend it without spoiling anything, but it's really good. If you haven't seen it, check it out. I'm really excited for season 2. I've saw like 2 episodes of Black Lightning, and then I just never saw it again because I knew that I wasn't gonna be able to watch it because I have like a DVR, and since I work at night for the most part, I knew that I wouldn't be able to watch it, so I had to choose like my other shows that I watch, which one was on my priority list. I know it's on Netflix. I'll probably eventually watch it. I probably might just like in one day. I'm not sure how many episodes it has. But I'll probably one day just knock it out. I like that. Alicia Kingston says, yet DCCW is still better than the DCEU. I mean, it's interesting, right? When you look at everything, right? You look at the way that everything is set up, and with the DCEU, I'm hyped for Aquaman, but man, have they fucked up. You know what looks dope? I wish I could pull up a picture right here. The Joker. The Joker looks like he's gonna be extremely dope. He's gonna be mad awesome. And I'm actually pretty excited for that as well. What do I recommend? Like, if I were to recommend a movie to watch out of like the DCEU, I would say Wonder Woman because I know other people like it. I didn't personally like it as much. I think it was a good movie. I didn't enjoy it because I just don't like those timepieces. But Justice League was trash. When I went back and looked at it, the first time I was like, "Oh, it's all right." I don't know what people were talking about, but then when I went back and looked at it, it was really bad. Batman vs Superman was pretty underwhelming as well, and I don't know. Hopefully, with Zack Snyder out of the way, it'll probably be a little bit lighter. They released like a 5-minute trailer for Aquaman, so Aquaman looks like it's gonna be really dope. I'm really excited for Aquaman, and plus Jason Momoa, Khal Drogo. You know, we gotta support that man. That's one of the things that I always say about when we saw that like with Black Panther, right? Like a lot of people who usually wouldn't be like throw their full support behind certain movies went out and they saw Black Panther. Like, you know what I mean? Like minorities and stuff. I feel like with Jason Momoa, even though we see that the DCEU has been trash, we should give our boy Khal Drogo us Throners love and support. We should support that man and go see Aquaman. I'm definitely gonna go check it out in theaters. But and it looks a little bit more upbeat. It doesn't look as like, you know, and in Justice League, he was one of the funnier, more entertaining characters. And it's funny because Aquaman is one of those like corny looking characters. Since they got Jason Momoa, I don't know, he has like that surfer boy thing to it. So I don't know, I'm pretty excited about it. Chrissy Volzone says, the worst thing about the trailer is Mira's wig. I mean, it is really red. It's funny. You could put anybody in front of me, and I'm horrible. Like, I'm really bad when it comes to selling like wigs and like makeup and stuff like that. Unless it's like so blatant. But I've heard a lot of people talk about her hair, and I just don't see it as something like that sticks out. The color does stick out to me, but the way that it looks, I don't know. I don't know. Maybe because I'm a dude. I don't know. I just haven't really picked up on it. But I have heard a lot of people give it a lot of grief. BBM says Black Lightning is a good binge. That's what I was hoping. I was like, I could just binge it all and watch it. Chrissy Evoson says, I heard Venom is trash. I heard people compare Venom to Catwoman. When you compare anything to Catwoman, that's you're trying to make a point. You know what I mean? So I found that interesting. Martha, why did you say that? That's funny. John Haymaker says The Flash stole the show in Justice League. Yeah, I agree. He was pretty funny. So was Jason Momoa. It was a little bit of the more lightheartedness of the whole movie. Mira's wig probably looks better than the wig that they had on Medusa and Inhumans. That was a bad TV show. I remember watching that show. I was like, why am I putting myself through this week after week? I just wanted to see how it ended, and that show was bad. The Inhumans was a horrible show. Whoever did that should be like whipped and like shamed down the street. I mean, I haven't watched Venom. I probably should go watch it today. But from what I've heard, it's like alright. It's like maybe like a 45-50. Like, you know, the way that I've heard people who have watched it. John Haymaker says he was a better Bane. He was pretty good as Bane. It wasn't Keith. I mean, not Keith. Heath Ledger. He wasn't Heath Ledger as Joker, but I think he was all right. You know, given what he was told to act as. You know what I mean? Let's see. Venom should have been rated R. Yeah, I've heard about the eating people thing. I heard that he actually does eat people. I didn't think that he would go through with it. I thought he was just scaring people. BBM says, I've watched it for $6. Don't pay more than that, Ray. No, the funny thing is that I have a Cinemia card. I'm not sponsored by Cinemia, but I have a Cinemia card, and basically Cinemia, you pay $10, or there's like different plans, right? So it's kind of like the A-list thing in AMC theaters, but with Cinemia you could go to any theater instead. So Cinemia basically gives you, depending on the plan that you're in. I'm on a plan that I pay $10 a month, and I get 2 movie tickets. I get to go see any movie, IMAX, 3D. I get to go in like those reclinable movie theater seats if I want. Any one of those. I get to go twice a month for $10, and that's all I pay. So they have plans that you could also go like with another person. So like, if I'm like going out and I'm going out on a date with someone, and I want to like and have like an extra ticket, I could pay like, I think it's like $16 a month, and I get an extra ticket, and basically I could take someone with me every time that I go to the movie theaters, and I get the same thing. I could go to any movie. It's really dope. It's just not like movie passes you get unlimited, even though I've heard the movie pass isn't like that anymore. Which one of you guys have used the movie pass before? Because I've never used it. I've had Cinemia always, but Cherie says, I don't watch much TV. Nothing lives up to Game of Thrones. That is so true. I mean, isn't that like the way that we all go through things now? Like, when none of us, we all try to watch something, and then we're like, that's dope, but it's not Game of Thrones. That's kind of where I'm at too. You think darkness is your ally. But I think I'm gonna end it here, guys. Thank you guys so much for coming out and, you know, hopping in on this chat. It was a bit of an impromptu chat. It was fun being here. I'm glad you guys came out. I will be having more videos. Like I showed you guys, I'm working on stuff. It is a kind of a gloomy day here in New York. It doesn't look very sunny or anything to go out, but I probably might watch some shows. I have a couple of shows that I wanted to watch and some stuff. I'm going to enjoy my day off because this week is going to be insane for me. But I hope you guys have a great day. Hope you guys have a great week. Thanks for joining me, guys. As always, it's a true pleasure. My name is Ray. And peace. Let me just dance. Dance. Hey, 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 hey. All right, peace, guys.